It's the 28th of April and I'm Tom Glasson. Welcome to The Roast. Now, with all these popes being turned into saints, I figure I'd best get to work on my first miracle if I'm going to have a shot at canonisation. So, I turn you into wine. Into wine. Woo! Oh, hang on. Oh, passion pop. You're never going to be a saint. Wine. How am I getting worse at this? Tonight on The Roast, Clive Palmer gains 3 new parliamentarians and God gains 2 new saints. But first, Mark Humphries has the headlines. Wine.
Yeah, where am I? Ooh, heaven.
Motoring Enthusiasts Party Senator-elect Ricky Muir is in the shit again.
Yum, yum.
No, not kangaroo shit. A video has emerged of his 8-year-old daughter in a car doing a burnout. Between this and the kangaroo footage, Ricky's had more videos come back to haunt him than The Ring. But don't worry, his daughter was safe. She was below the blood cordial limit, and I understand her candy phone was hands-free. The video from a few years ago has been taken off YouTube, but not before someone got a screenshot of the description.
Ever since my princess was a baby, she has had a huge interest in watching myself compete in burnouts competitions. So I thought I'll get her behind the wheel bright and early to have a little fun.
Good thing he got her started early. In this day and age, you have to be ahead of the pack if you want a career in burnouts. Personally, I would have just bought her some Hot Wheels, but I'm old-fashioned that way. Of course, there's only one thing more ridiculous than a child driving a politician's car, and that's a politician driving a child's car. Senator Nick Xenophon there, who is sadly still the most respectable crossbencher in the Senate. For The Roast, I'm Mark Humphries.
Thank you, Mark.
Wine.
Yeah, what am I?
You're a glass of passion pop, Nick.
Ooh, heaven.
It was the Logies last night and I enjoyed it from the best seat in the house. Not watching it. Instead, we made the crew from our morning spin-off, Roast Breakfast, take it all in.
No, 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 no! I'm inside of you.
And the search for the missing flight still continues. Moving on now, and the Immigration Minister, Scott...
Golden Boy Cam took the top prize at the Logies TV's Night of Nights. I was there. I saw Jason Derulo, Ellen Selfie.
Thank you for joining us. Finally, Clark. Now, back to the tragedy on Manus Island.
Tragedy? Oh, I'll give you tragedy, Alex. TV's top accolade, the highest honour going to... What is he? I want to say a carpenter, Alex?
Yeah, now he's TV's most popular personality. So from all of us at The Roast Breakfast, congratulations to you, Scott Cam, whose everyman appeal certainly won the hearts of the viewing public.
Yeah, so next time you're laying down a patio, be sure to film it, and you too could be crowned the king of television. Alex.
Well, some people like a man who can lay down a patio, Clark.
Well, I live in an apartment, so...
To Manus Island now, and...
Plus, it's a rental, so the joke's on her.
Roast breakfast. I love feeling informed without having to be depressed by actual news. Next up tonight, 3 members of the Northern Territory Parliament who defected from the Country Liberal Party last month have now joined the Palmer United Party. Queensland Premier Campbell Newman, seen here moments before he tragically became a lizard, has suggested there may have been financial incentives behind the move. But Alison Anderson, one of the defectors, has denied being offered any inducements to join Palmer's party, saying, "Clive Palmer is certainly welcome in the Northern Territory. We want his wealth of knowledge." And Clive really does have a wealth of knowledge. I mean, just listen to his expertise on Indigenous parliamentary history.
Alison Anderson will be the first parliamentary leader of any parliamentary party as an Indigenous person in Australia.
Well, except for Adam Giles, Adam Giles is the Chief Minister there in the Northern Territory. He's a leader of the CLP.
Well,
it appears that Mr Palmer has hidden his wealth of knowledge in an offshore bank account. But how was the big news reported in the Northern Territory's local paper? Because when it comes to headlines, Northern Territory news sets a certain standard. Well, technically low is a standard, so what did they run with for this important political story? Yeah, it's a little dry. If I were the Northern Territory news editor, I'd have gone with new litter of pups. But don't worry, Territorians. Despite having to dedicate nearly 2 whole pages to the game-changing political upheaval, Northern Territory News still managed to make sure they had 8 pages of just footy. And since we are dedicating more time to analysing Northern Territory politics than the local paper, what do these defections mean for the people who voted them in?
Tom, it means Clive Palmer's opening their eyes to all the little intricacies of the governmental body. He's like some sort of political healthy Harold, which is why it's time for us to cash in and introduce the roast's yet-to-be patented Palmer United Puppet. Hey kids, did you know there was an election advertising blackout before polling day so that voters could act without being influenced by political ads on TV?
But by running ads for my resort in Coolum, I got my face on television anyway.
You certainly did, you cheeky billionaire puppet thing. Also, we now know all about preference deals in the Senate.
And how I made a voting bloc that can deadlock the political system based on my many whims.
And kids, Palmer United Puppet taught us that no matter what they do professionally, a politician can just act like a buffoon on TV or twerk in an interview and we'll just chalk them up as a wacky character.
I own a nickel company that released toxic waste near the Barrier Reef.
Oh no, that's terrible, Palmer United Puppet. Bad Palmer United Puppet.
Twerk, twerk, twerk.
Oh, he's just so cute. Let's forget that thing he mentioned about toxic waste.
Yeah, I'll give you that. He's very cute.
Yes, he is, Tom. And if you think he's cute, he comes with these.
Oh, what are those, his pets?
No, Tom, these are his elected political representatives.
Oh, why have they got leashes?
Well, they need to remember who they belong to.
Yeah, right. OK, we'll be back in a moment. They're so cute.
Let's go for a walk. Let's go for a walk to Parliament. Block, block, block. Block, block, block. Blocky, 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 block.
While Nick patronises those puppets, why don't you jump online and answer tonight's question? Have you ever learnt a valuable life lesson from an inanimate object? How inanimate was that object? Did it become animate when it was possessed by a demon which ultimately tried to eat your soul? We'd love to hear about it at the Roast TV or hashtag RoastTV.
Yesterday, a crowd of up to 1 million Catholics flocked to Vatican City to see the canonisation of Popes John XXIII and John Paul II. Due to the presence of a reigning pope, a retired pope and 2 dead popes, the ceremony was billed by Italian media as Four Pope Sunday, the Sunday enjoyed by all good Catholics. And just like the Catholic Church, it is extremely rich and makes you feel very guilty. The event was Christianity's Logies, where white full-length gowns were very much on trend. Who wore it better? Tweet us your thoughts at the Roast TV. Now, as part of the ceremony, remnants from each saint in waiting were placed near the altar to become holy relics. Specifically, a container of blood from John Paul II and skin from John XXIII. Now, sure, as a pope you might get job security, but at least in other jobs you're not constantly checking over your shoulder, waiting for someone to collect your skin or your shoulder. And these new voodoo ingredients of potential saints join an extensive collection of cannibal hors d'oeuvres that includes Pope Pius IX's hair and St. Francis Xavier's arm. Don't leave me hanging. See, in life he was the hand of God, but now he's just a hand. So the church has a stockpile of dead popes' body parts. They say it's for worshippers to visit, but really there's only one reason you'd hang on to that many pope parts.
It's alive! It's alive! Franken Pope, go! In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Oh my God, my cancer's cleared right up! It's a miracle!
You know, technically, Frankenpope should be the name of the scientist. Now, some followers have been critical of Pope John Paul II's sainthood being fast-tracked just 9 years after his death, when for others, it can take centuries. Alex Lee joins me in the studio now. Alex, how are the other saints responding?
Well, Tom, I'd love to report on that, but to do so, I'd have to go to heaven.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, because you're currently drinking the stuff from under the sink that I'm not allowed to play with.
What did you do?
Alex.
Thanks, Tom. I'm here in heaven where the atmosphere is tense. St. Francis is leading a hunger strike to protest these canonisations. And St. Nicholas is threatening to cancel Christmas.
Yeah, right. Has John Paul II released a statement?
Well, he's hiding inside his cloud, Tom. Angry crowds have gathered outside it, labelling him the patron saint of queue jumping and a one miracle wonder. There are fears he may have to travel around heaven in the ghost of his own Pope-mobile to protect him from the other saints.
I have to say, Alex, I had no idea heaven was so violent.
And you never will, Tom. You're a murderer.
Oh, well, not if I bring you back to life with the old mouth-to-mouth. Pucker up.
No, thank you, Tom. I'd rather be dead. For the roast, I'm Alex Lee, heaven.
Ooh, rough. Good night. Wine. Woo! Oh, it's corked. Oh, no. Oh, I envy you.